you please connect with the headset?
Yeah. The interpreter is connected to the podium, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Los Andrés Uribe Ortiz. Uribe Ortiz.
Carlos Andrés Uribe Ortiz.
21MM 7201. Sir, you're here charged with battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. There is probable cause. One moment. Your bond is $500. You can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Sí, señor.
Yes, I do.
You can't possess or consume any alcoholic beverages. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence. I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir.
Okay, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's all we have at this time for the interpreter. Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Counselors, also, if you can see me after court, I have an update for you both on something that we discussed last week. Just don't let me forget.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
He's what? All right, this is 21 CF 13321. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office if you weren't this weekend.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, there is probable cause.
Your Honor, he wasn't interviewed, but if you look at the arrest affidavit, it appears he does have mental health issues. And he was supposed to be taking medications for his mental health issues, so I'd ask
that.
for mental health pretrial release, if he can be interviewed for that, and then if not, regular pretrial release. It doesn't appear he doesn't have any criminal history from what I'm seeing.
What says the state?
State has no objection, Your Honor.
All right, I'll order that he be screened for mental health pretrial release. With special conditions, no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence, one-time return with law enforcement, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, comply with any physician's orders. Alternatively, his bond will be $5,000 on count one, $150 on count two, with all the same conditions.
That was $5,150?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
My name is Isaac. Acevedo.
21 CF 13363, you're here charged with aggravated battery causing great bodily harm. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Excuse me?
Sir, I'm advising you of the charges right now.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I just had to say something.
Okay, everything you say is being recorded and can be used against you later.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
I've just appointed an attorney to represent you. I'm going to give you a moment to discuss with your attorney. All right, having discussed with your attorney, is there anything you want to say to the court right now?
Your Honor, the only issue is that my client is asking that, I don't know why he's saying 5,000. Listen, hold on. Listen. Your Honor, my client's, I don't know if it's saying 5,000, but he states that he can't afford $5,000 bond, so I just asked for a reduction, Your Honor. Based on, it looks like he doesn't have any convictions here in Florida.
Your Honor, he does have a prior DV arrest against the same victim. That was from May of 2020. It was declined to prosecute due to the victim being unwilling to prosecute. So there is previously incidences between this victim and this defendant.
I saw that, and because of the charge, I'm not inclined to reduce that from $5,000. Mr. Acevedo, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. She's going to give you a piece of paper with a phone number to call. Call that number right away. You can ask your attorney who's assigned to your case to file a motion to reduce that bond in front of your trial judge. But it's going to be $5,000 today, with conditions that you can have no contact with the victim or any witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Good luck, sir.
But I would have to pay like an after fee.
I don't understand this thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't at all. Please tell me your name. 21 CF 13369. You're here charged with aggravated battery on a pregnant person, domestic violence, battery on a law enforcement officer, and resisting without violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. There is probable cause. You don't look at her, you look at me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ma'am, do you wish to testify?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell.
Rosalie Mendez.
Can you please spell your last name?
Mendez is Mendez.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
And what
Ms.
is your relationship to Mr. Brandon?
He's my boyfriend with the baby. He's the baby's father.
Okay. Has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
Are you afraid of him?
I was kind of afraid last night because he drank a lot.
If he were to be released from custody today, would you be afraid of him?
I think that he needs to go to mental evaluation because I want him to do the mental evaluation.
Okay, but would you be afraid of him if he were to be released?
No, if he's not drinking.
Are you willing to call 911 if anything like this or anything more severe ever occurred in the future?
Yes, of course.
And do you believe drugs or alcohol were involved in this incident?
Alcohol.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
As of the moment, I want him to get the help he needs, so not right now.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay.
Anything from the defense?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Mendez. Is there anything else you wanted to tell me?
No, I don't think so. I just think his parents told me that he does need a mental evaluation due to past injuries when he was a kid. So.
All right, so today, the only reason we're here is for me to advise him of the charges and set his bond conditions. I don't have jurisdiction to order him into any kind of treatment. However, I have appointed an attorney to represent him, so I'll ask Ms. George, can you make notes for your colleagues? Because he doesn't qualify, well, he could qualify for pretrial release.
He does, Your Honor.
I'll have him screened for mental health pretrial release. That'll give a mental health evaluation, Ms. Mendez.
Okay.
With special conditions, sir, you can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Can I say one thing?
You can say anything you want, but everything you say is being recorded and can be used against you later. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you also can have no contact with the victim in this, the witness in this case. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition. You can't possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or any controlled substance without a valid prescription, and you'll be subject to random drug and alcohol screens. You must maintain a separate residence. I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings, but you cannot coordinate that with the victim. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other conditions the state would request?
Yes, Your Honor, DCF was notified due to 3 children being present.
You must comply with any plan set in place by DCF. You cannot have any unsupervised contact with any minor child under the age of 18. Do you understand? You have to answer out loud.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If he doesn't qualify for mental health pretrial release, it'll be regular pretrial release with all of those same conditions. Good luck, sir. Thank you for coming, ma'am. Good luck.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Scott Finland.
Sir, a warrant was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 13372, charging you with battery, domestic violence, and tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement. Another judge has already found probable cause in this case. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $5,000 on count 2, $100 on count 1. With special conditions, you can have no contact with the victim or any witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence. I'll allow one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir.
It was 5,000 on the tampering and 100
Yes.
on the battery? Okay. Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Jonah Harden.
21 CF 13352, you're here charged with battery, domestic violence, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. There is probable cause.
Your Honor, in regards to when setting bond, so I just wanted to bring to your attention, he did have a 2020 felony, agbat pregnant person, battery by strangulation, DV, and possession of meth. Ultimately, he pled no contest only to the possession of meth due to the victim being unwilling to prosecute on the other 2. It is the same victim, Ms. Domini. He also had a 2020 non-arrest, bat by strangulation, dating violence, and agbat pregnant person. That was from March of 2020. Also same victim, she was unwilling to prosecute.
All right, at this time, sir, your bond is $5,000 on count 2. $100 on count 1. You can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Ma'am.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. You cannot possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck.
Ma'am,
Yes.
she is not at my residence.
So I can't, the court doesn't have jurisdiction to order her to leave. So listen.
Not there at all.
Listen to me. What I'm ordering is that you maintain a separate residence. If she doesn't live there, you can live there.
Okay.
But I can't order her to leave. So if you get there and she's there, you can't stay.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't have any contact with her, you can't speak to her.
Correct.
And you're the one who can be arrested and held at no bond if you have contact with her. So you want to be really careful if you go back there.
Well, I'll have an officer go with me to make sure
Yes.
she's not there first.
Right. Good idea. No, I did not.
You didn't come.
Yeah, no, I don't.
come. Yes.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Is she correct? Yes. He didn't come. That was his mental health.
Please tell me your name.
Julian Jordan.
21 CF 13340. You're here charged with domestic battery by strangulation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. There is probable cause. Your bond is $5,000. You can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. All right, good luck.
Lori?
It's yours.
Please tell me your name.
Ricardo Loera.
21 CF 13344. You're here charged with aggravated assault with a weapon and battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause. Ma'am, do you wish to testify?
Yes. Yes.
Please raise your right hand.
Please swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Hillary Fritz, Fritz.
Go ahead, Ms. May.
Good morning, Ms. Fritz. Can you please state your relationship to Mr. Lora?
He's my husband.
Are you afraid of him?
Not at this time.
If you were to be released from custody, would you be afraid of him?
As long as he's not drinking, no.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Not to this extent, no.
Has he ever put his hands on you before?
He's pushed me, but never like this.
Approximately how long ago would you say the last time it turned physical was?
A year or more.
Okay.
And it's only when he's drinking.
Okay. Are you willing to call 911 if anything like this or anything more severe ever occurred?
Yes, absolutely.
And do you believe drugs or alcohol were involved in this incident?
Yes,
Okay. Would it be the alcohol?
absolutely.
Okay. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
As long as he's not drinking, that will be fine.
Thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
You can stay there, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
He does qualify for pretrial release. I would ask for pretrial release in this case. I don't see any type of violent history.
What says the state?
Your Honor, can I have one additional question for the witness?
Go ahead.
He qualifies for a program called pretrial release, meaning that he'll be pretty much supervised by the jail while he's out, but he won't have to pay a bond to get out. Is that something that sounds okay to you or something you would
That
object?
sounds completely fair. Yes, I don't want anything bad to happen to him. He was my husband.
All right, thank you. State has no objection, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, I'm going to place you on pretrial release and require that you post a monetary bond. On count one, that'll be $1,000. On count two, $100. With special conditions, you can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am, that I should not be close to the house or 500 meters from the property, contact by phone.
You can't call her on the phone, you can't speak to her, you can't see her, you can't send a message through social media or friends and family, no contact. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition. You cannot possess or consume alcoholic beverages. You'll be subject to random alcohol screens. You must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. After that return, you cannot be within 500 feet of her residence or place of employment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Good question. For picking up my belongings, who did I need to call to be with me present when I take my clothing and my...
You're going to take law enforcement with you. You have to go with law enforcement. All right, good luck. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck.
Thank you.
Can we approach just for a second, Your Honor?
Yes.
Because we don't resolve the matters here, it'd have to go before the assigned trial division for resolution or any request for bond. But we can go ahead and proceed with you entering your plea and giving court dates.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When the plea denial has been entered, we set the court dates. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Please tell me your name.
James Neat.
21 CF 13362. You're here charged with 2 counts of battery with 2 prior battery convictions. At this time, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Your Honor, I believe, I would say there's no PC for the second battery. Is this
Wait, one moment, I'm going to pull it up. Tell me why.
I only see one battery. There was only one, hit. I guess he hit her one time. I don't see an additional touching.
Your Honor, state has no objection. It's one incident on one day with one victim, and the only alleged touching is one particular incident. I'm unsure why the officer charged it twice, as I don't see another victim or another day or another touching of any kind. Only a hit to the face. The victim described it as punched her on the left side of the face once. The witness described it as a slap to her face. I don't believe there's more than one touching or more than one victim or more than one incident.
I think we have a plan today, in regards to how we're going to be able to proceed. I don't have my calendar up in front of me, but I do recall that we were making arrangements for her to go to a certain location, correct, Ms. Custom?
Yes, Ms. Bell, and I believe they interviewed you last week, is that correct? So they haven't given me any sort of feedback. Once we get a date, I'll get this set earlier if we need to. Right now, I believe it's set for I know you know, Sharon, it's either the 28th or the 29th.
Just like to let you know.
So I guarantee we'll get it a little bit.
Sir, I can't hear you, but I need to advise you that anything you say is being recorded and can be used against you later. Do you understand?
Ma'am.
All right, I didn't hear what you said.
I was just saying that I thought I'd let you know that I'm doing very good in my life at this point, and I've changed my life around completely besides this little incident right here. But came a long way, and came a long way. Changed my whole life around, just a little incident.
And finalize things, and then once we hear the word, we will appear and make sure everything happens to transition you over to the Dom.
All right, I'm going to find probable cause as to count 1.
You're welcome. Hang in there, Ms. Bell. We're gonna do this day by day, okay? Just, we'll take one day at a time.
Is he not on probation for the DUI from July 27th, 2021?
No, Your Honor.
Does the statute not require probation?
It does, Your Honor.
I signed 6 months county time.
I'm sorry, what?
I signed 6 months county time for it.
That's not an option. The statute requires it.
It is in Lake County, I guess.
So yeah, it didn't happen here in Orange, Your Honor, so I don't have access to the court minutes or what happened on that case.
I'm going to place you on pretrial release and require that you post a monetary bond of $2,500. With special conditions, you can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means? You also cannot have any unsupervised contact with any minor child under the age of 18. You cannot possess or consume any alcoholic beverages. You'll be subject to random alcohol screens. Do you understand? You cannot return to 7511 International Drive, Orlando, Florida. You also can have no contact with any witness in this case. Did I say no weapons? You cannot possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Good luck, sir. Yes.
Your Honor, are you ordering separate residences and a one-time return, or just the no?
No,
return
it says they
to-
don't live together, so no contact. Please tell me your name.
Eric Newsom.
21 CF 13358. You're here charged with aggravated assault, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause, and I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Hold on, I need to pull this one up too. I'm going to place you on pretrial release and require that you post a monetary bond. It'll be $1,000 on count one and $100 on count two. With special conditions, you can have no contact with a victim or any witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You cannot possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or any controlled substance without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol screens. You must comply with any plan set in place by DCF. Ms. May, was the child present for the incident?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it's alleged that the victim picked up the child when he proceeded to punch her in the thigh, so the child was on the mother.
You can have no unsupervised contact with any minor child under the age of 18. You must maintain a separate residence. I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Was the firearm collected on the scene?
I do not believe so, Your Honor.
All right, I'll order that you must surrender any firearms to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you understand? Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Alexander Eugene Stark.
21 CF 13355. You're here charged with aggravated battery on a pregnant person, domestic violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause here. Ma'am, do you wish to testify?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Carla Janae Wilkerson. Wilkerson is Wilkerson.
Ms. May, do you have questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Wilkerson. Can you please state your relationship to Mr. Stark?
Boyfriend.
Are you afraid of him?
No, ma'am.
Would you be afraid of him if he were to be released from custody?
No, ma'am.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
If anything like this ever happened in the future, would you feel comfortable calling 911?
Yes.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
He qualifies for a program called pretrial release. I described it earlier to one of the other women that was present, meaning that he'd be basically watched by the jail while he was out on release, but he wouldn't have to pay a monetary bond. Is that something that you're okay with or something that you would object to?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Say there's no other questions, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You can stay.
Oh, you can stay right there so you can
stay
hear.
so you can hear the conditions.
I'm going to place you on pretrial release, Mr. Stark, and require that you post a monetary bond. However, I'll reduce that amount significantly. Your bond will be $1,000. With special conditions, you can have no contact with the victim or any witness in the case, which includes the minor children who were present. Do you understand that?
Speak.
Yes.
You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence. I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings, but you cannot coordinate that with the victim. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You must comply with any plan set in place by DCF. Anything else the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck. Please tell me your name.
State your name.
21MM7195. You're here charged with battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Miss May, do you know when that, I see it says Florida criminal history, domestic battery on the same victim. Do you know when that was?
Yes, Your Honor. I have one out of Orange. It was July of 2021. There was an arrest for a bat DV, victim being Miss Adams. I believe it's Yasmin Adams. I believe potentially that is her maiden name, so it's the same victim. In that case, he was given mental health PTR or in the alternative of $1,500 bond.
Can you tell if he was placed on mental health pretrial release?
I cannot.
Can you guys tell me if he was on mental health pretrial release?
No, Your Honor, I don't see that.
I'm sorry, what?
No, Your Honor, I do not see that. He was released on mental health PTR.
He was released from it?
No, I don't see that information.
Oh, so he never was.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, your bond is $1,000. You can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means? Yes. You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. You can't return to the Christian Service Center except the one time to gather your belongings if they're still there. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck.
Can I say something real quick?
Sir, you can say anything you want, but everything you say is,
I just wanted to clarify the PTR. When I was released here, I was placed on the PTR, the mental health PTR.
you're saying you were?
Yes, I was.
That's interesting because pretrial release doesn't have a record of that.
Well, yeah, they gave me a white piece of paper. It said the same stipulations. It said PTR or $1,500. I had met a lady, everything, and they gave me mental health PTR. That's how come I was released 22 days later from the time I was arrested on the pretrial release.
I see no info. I just see no info from the previous time that he was here.
I don't know. All right, well, they don't have a record of it, so good luck, sir.
Your Honor, state would also ask for no contact with the witness. Arguably, there should have been a second bat in one count.
And you can't have any contact with a witness in this case.
What witness?
See,
His name is Mr. Archer.
okay. Please tell me your name. 21MM242, you're here charged with improper exhibition of a weapon and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Does the state object to pretrial release?
Your Honor, if you're otherwise inclined to put her on pretrial release, state would ask for bond with pretrial release due to the weapon.
I'm going to place you on pretrial release and require that you post a monetary bond of $100 on each count. With special conditions, you can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means? You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. Ms. May, was this weapon collected?
I do not believe it states within the affidavit, Your Honor, so I'm unsure.
I didn't see it either. All right, I'm going to order that you must surrender this firearm to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release?
Maitland Police Department has it.
Oh, they did take it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then leave that as my order, but then if she doesn't have it, she doesn't have to do that. I'll order you must maintain a separate residence and allow one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings, but you cannot coordinate that with the victim. Do you understand? All right, good luck.
Gordon Kirshner, James, mental health.
21 7205. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
There is probable cause. Bond is $10,000. No victim contact, no weapons, firearms, ammunition, cannot return for any reason or be within 500 feet of the victim's residence or place of employment.
Your Honor, state we just asked for the order of complying with the injunction, 21.
And must comply with the injunction.
21 DR 8496.
Please tell me your name. I can't hear you.
Sherman.
What's your full name?
My name is Sherman.
Full name.
Full name?
Do you have a last name? All right, 21 7199. You're here charged with battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Sir, did you wish to testify?
I don't speak very well. I need to be touches.
Do you speak Creole? Do you have it? Okay, I don't have that interpreter, so we'll have to come back to this case. Have a seat, sir. We'll get an interpreter. We'll just bring her back in when we get one. Please tell me your name. 21 685. You're here charged with battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $500. You can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means? You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do have a question.
Okay.
We do have kids involved.
You can't have any contact with her, even about the children. So what you can do is you can talk to a mom or an aunt and coordinate the children that way, but no contact means you can't send a message through your mom or your aunt or your cousin or whatever to her, I'll say, about anything other than the children. You understand? All right, good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Janera.
Full name.
Janera Diaz Martinez.
21 7200. You're here charged with battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $500. You can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Your Honor.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. I'll order you must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Good luck, ma'am. Please tell me your name.
Stephen Hughes.
21 7202. You're here charged with battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond in this case is $1,000. You can have no contact with the victim or any witness in the case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. I'll order you must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. At this time, I'm revoking your bond in 21 CF 12274. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Zenaida Matos.
One more time.
Zenaida Matos.
21MM7196. You're here charged with battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Sir, did you wish to testify?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Daniel Vega, VEGA.
Go ahead, Ms. May.
Good morning, Mr. Vega. Can you please state your relationship to Ms. Matos?
My girlfriend, my baby mother.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No,
Are you afraid of her?
never will be, never have been. She's an angel.
I can't hear you. One more time.
I said, no, I never have been.
Thank you.
If anything like this or anything more severe ever occurred in the future, would you feel comfortable calling 911?
Yes, I would.
And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe drugs or alcohol were involved in this incident?
No, they were not.
All right, thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
No questions, Your Honor.
One more, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
She does qualify for pretrial release. I'm sure you probably heard us talk about it previously, meaning that she'd be monitored by the jail while she was out, but she wouldn't have to pay a monetary bond to be released. Is that something that's okay with you or something that you would object to?
I would like her out as soon as possible, so yes, whatever.
All right, thank you.
I couldn't hear that either. What did?
He said he would like her out as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
He
I'm
has no
sorry.
objection.
It's okay.
Sometimes it's just hard for me to hear in here.
I mumble too, I'm a bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry, one more time?
I said I'm a little nervous, I've never been in this setting, so I'm sorry, I'm proud.
I understand. It's okay. And the masks make it difficult and all kinds of things, so I appreciate your patience. All right, Ms. Matos, I'm going to place you on pretrial release with special conditions. Let me clarify one more time. Sir, you said you do want contact with her?
Yes, I do.
All right. I'm going to order that you can only have peaceful contact with the victim. Do you understand what peaceful contact means?
Yes.
No hostile contact, no yelling, no throwing things, no shoving, none of that. You understand?
Yes.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. What says this, any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck. Thank you, sir, good luck. Please tell me your name.
Emily Holbrook.
You have a warrant out of Polk County for failing to appear for arraignment on a charge of petty theft with a prior conviction. Your bond is $500. Hold on one moment. Stay right there. I don't have a proper case number. Give me one moment. 0075113. That's the only thing it says is case number. All right. All right, ma'am, you have a bond. If you're able to post it, you can bond out, or we'll notify them that you're here and they'll come and get you. Good luck.
Daniel Schroeder.
21 CT 4239. You're here because a warrant was issued for your arrest out of Lake County for violating probation. At this time, you have no bond. We'll notify Lake County that you're here so they can transport you, and I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Haley Cole.
Looks like you have two warrants for violating probation, 19 CF 10765 and 19 CF 11443. You have no bond on both of those warrants. I'll appoint attorneys to represent you in each case. The allegations are you failed to report, you changed your residence without first procuring the consent of your probation officer, you failed to complete treatment, you failed to complete community service hours, and failed to pay all of the costs and fines associated with your probation. Good luck, ma'am.
McIntyre Richard, medical.
Thank you. 2018 CF 15026. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, it's an on view, so there's no bond. Have we heard from the Creole interpreter yet? Okay. All right, so,
I believe we have someone else in the gallery. I'm not sure what case she's on. I don't know if she wants to come up so we can try to address it.
who else do we have out there, B?
A victim for Kodo Michael.
I believe it was the reset we addressed earlier.
But he couldn't come to court, right? Is this the one?
Yes, he was mental health.
Okay. So this is 21 CF 13321. Good morning, ma'am. Did you wish to testify today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name for the record and spell your last name.
Sierra Segarra, Segarra.
All right, I'm going to let the state ask you some questions.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you please state your relationship to Mr. Cotter?
He's my ex-boyfriend.
Are you afraid of him?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Yes, ma'am.
Approximately how long ago would you say the last time was, other than this incident?
Around the last time, he was Baker acted. He's been Baker acted twice this year. He just recently started having bipolar manic episodes. They're really severe, but it's been going on for a year. It's just gotten worse now.
Okay. Do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
If I don't, is he going to be let out?
No, just if you want to have contact with him or not.
No.
Since this case was already called, we had no contact. We just wanted to see if you wanted that.
No, ma'am.
Okay. He qualifies for a program called pretrial release. In his instant case, we are going to put him on mental health pretrial release. Is that something that you'd be interested in to see if he could be in that program to potentially get some mental health counseling?
My only concern is that he doesn't think that the medicines help him, and he likes to not take him. The day that this happened, he was like, oh, I flushed them. Oh, they're in my car. He doesn't like taking them. So I don't know if he would take them if you guys put him in that. And he's not okay if he doesn't take those medicines.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. George, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. So he was not able to come to court this morning. What I did was I ordered that he be screened first, and then if he qualifies, placed on mental health pretrial release. And what that means is it's a program where he's monitored through staff at the jail. I ordered that he's not allowed to have any contact with you. He must maintain a separate residence. He can't possess weapons, firearms, or ammunition. I allowed him to return one time, but only with law enforcement to gather his belongings. So he can't show up by himself to gather his belongings. Part of mental health pretrial release, what that will mean is they'll screen him, determine if he qualifies based on his mental health issues. He'll be ordered to comply with doctor's orders, which I've already stated. So if he doesn't take his medication as ordered, that's a violation of my court order. He'll be arrested and can be held at no bond.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that program?
He doesn't have a home besides my house. Do you know where you would send him? He would just stay here?
I can't send him anywhere. No, he'll be released.
Okay.
He's entitled to bond. I can't hold him at no bond.
Okay.
So he will be released, but I can't send him to a program. I don't have the jurisdiction to do that. So he'll have to find another place to live that is not your house because I've ordered that he cannot live there.
Okay. Well, okay, that's fine. He just doesn't have a job or any family here, so he'd just be homeless?
I don't know. His attorney can help him find a place, but I can't.
It would be the state attorney, I guess.
No, the state attorney is prosecuting him. The public defender's office is representing him. Ms. George, do you have a number that
I can
You guys
give
share?
his the numbers that I have for his family. It's just that they don't really care about him. He's not from here.
So we have social services that'll meet with him, and then if he needs a place, they have contacts with homeless shelters and things like that. So he will be in contact with our social services department, and they'll be able to help him.
Okay.
All right.
Do you know when how much time I have to leave the house?
You don't have to leave the house. I'm not ordering you to leave the house. What do you mean?
Well, I don't want to be here in case cause he knows where I work and he'll just show up or he'll just come. I just don't want to be around in case he decides to show up. So do you know around how much time I have?
So it usually takes 2 to 3 days to be screened for mental health pretrial release. And then when he is coming with law enforcement to gather his belongings, law enforcement will call her, right?
That I don't know, Your Honor.
I'm just concerned because no one called me for this. And they said it was at 8. And then they said it was at 9. So I didn't know when to show up.
I'm sorry about that confusion.
It's okay.
That's not a good thing. So can we leave a note? Pretrial release?
Yes.
When did you get a phone call?
I didn't. He got arrested Saturday. I called Saturday afternoon. They said that I just had to call the court of clerks. I called this morning because I thought they were closed yesterday. They said it was at 8. Then I called you guys and they said it was at 9, so I had to rush here.
So why wasn't she contacted by pretrial release?
She was not contacted. However, a voicemail was left with the date and the time and PTR contact info. So a voicemail was left.
To what number?
Where? And what date and time was left for her?
You want me to state her phone number?
B. We also have Creole on the line. Okay.
What day was this? The
And then-
voicemail was left on the 9th.
At what number?
Phone number 407-978-9761.
Is that your number?
It is. I got 2 calls at 5 a.m., but I didn't see a voice. It's okay. If I could I just want to get called basically when it happens so I know that I'm gone.
I can't control that. I don't know that law enforcement will call you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to also add to my order, Madam Clerk, I'm going to add to this order that after the one-time return, he cannot be within 500 feet of her residence or place of employment.
Your Honor, do you mind advising her that if he doesn't qualify, what the bonds are, just in case he does not qualify? For
Yes.
the program?
Alternatively, if he does not qualify for mental health pretrial release when they screen him, I ordered that his bond is $5,000 on count 1 and, is it 100 on count 2? And $100 on count 2.
150.
150.
What?
It was 150 on 2.
150 on count 2. So if he doesn't qualify for that program, he'll have to post those monetary bonds, and it'll be all the same conditions when he's released.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good luck. We have the Creole interpreter. This is Judge Gibson. Who do I have on the line?
Hi, this is Isabel DeRocher, Creole interpreter, previously sworn in.
Good morning. We're here in 21 MM 7199. I have a witness in need of your services.
OK. Nous l'avons 21 MM 7199, pas vrai?
Sir, please tell me your name.
Dimki Jean Aurélé, s'il vous plaît.
Les Rosemay. Iles Rosemay.
Iles Rosemay.
Yes.
Let me ask the state if she has some questions for you.
Le mandat de l'État, est-ce qu'il y a une question pour vous?
Yes, Judge.
Oui, juge.
Good morning, sir. Can you please state your relationship to Ms. Sherman?
Est-ce qu'on est capable de dire, monsieur, qui qualité de relation gagne ensemble avec Madame Sherman?
Marié, non marié.
We married.
Are you afraid of her?
Est-ce qu'on peut lire?
Non.
Non.
If she were to be released from custody today, would you be afraid of her?
Si yo tap relâché, quitter le sorti de prison jodi a, est-ce que vous tap peur de li?
La caille moins droite.
Pardon?
La caille moins oui pour l'aller, oui.
The home, she would need to come home.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Est-ce que bagage ça arrivé déjà?
Bon, pas vraiment.
No, not really.
When you say not really, has it ever become physical between you and her?
Là où dit pas vraiment, est-ce que nous goumé comme ça déjà?
Nous lui qu'on fait attentat sur moi, juste m'pas quitter ça arriver, mais pas vraiment.
She has tried to do things like that, but I don't let it happen.
Okay, thank you. Are you willing to call 911 if anything like this ever occurred in the future or anything more severe?
Si on bagage comme ça t'arrive encore, ou bien si on bagage plus sévère t'arrive, est-ce que vous d'accord pour les 911?
Oui.
Yes.
Do you believe drugs or alcohol were present during this incident?
Est-ce que vous pensez drogue ou bien alcool t'est fait que bagage ça t'arrive?
Non.
Non.
And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Est-ce que vous voulez gagner contact avec dame là pendant que cas en suspens?
Yeah, parce que c'est lui qui occupe de mon nom, pas gain l'autre jour on perd du travail. Hier soir on perd du travail là, et aujourd'hui on perd du travail là.
Yeah, because she has to take care of the kids. There's no other way. I lost the day of work yesterday and today.
All right, thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, c'est ça seulement les gains.
Anything, Ms. George?
No questions, Your Honor.
Madame George, est-ce que vous avez une question? Non, pas de question.
Okay, thank you. All right. Ma'am, I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
Moi, pour le mettre en relâche avant procès, madame.
With special conditions, you can only have peaceful contact with the victim.
Avec conditions spéciales, ou capable de gagner seulement contact en paix avec victime là.
No hostile contact.
Ou pas capable de gagner mauvais contact.
No yelling, shoving, pushing.
Ou pas capable de rêler, pousser, bourrade.
You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition.
Ou pas capable de gagner aucune arme, arme à feu ou bien munition.
Any other conditions the state would request?
Est-ce que gagne l'autre condition l'État a demandé?
Just to comply with DCF, Your Honor.
Simplement obéir avec DCF.
I'll order you must comply with any plan set in place by DCF.
Moi, dis que ou besoin suivre ou besoin obéir tout plan que département Timon avec famille tap mettait en place.
You understand?
Vous comprenez?
You have to answer out loud. Did she say yes?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir, for coming. Good luck.
Merci, monsieur, pour venir. Bonne chance.
And that's all we have for the interpreter. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.
You as well. All right. That's all we have for the morning. So how long does everybody need? No, we can't.
I'm ready to go.
So you guys are ready. How long does pretrial release need?
I'm ready.
They're ready. Attorneys?
I have to speak to the inmate, Your Honor, so maybe like 15 minutes so I can do the pleas.
Let's do 30.
Okay.
So we'll start back at 10:30.
Okay.
Court's in recess. Please connect with the headset.
Your Honor, the interpreter is attempting to confirm and the defendant is not answering. I'm not sure if he can hear or what's going on, Judge. I'm sorry.
Do it one more time.
I'm going to try it one more time, Judge. My apologies.
Thank you.
He's talking to you.
Sí.
Your Honor, everything indicates. My apology. I don't know why he's taking so long to answer me, Judge. I apologize. I'm going to ask him to speak up and to answer right away.
Okay, thank you. Sir, please tell me your name.
Víctor Bartales.
Víctor Bartales.
21 MM 7204. You're here charged with trespass in occupied structure. There is probable cause.
Your Honor, he was not screened, it doesn't look like, for pretrial release. Given that he has no criminal history, I would ask that he's screened for pretrial release, and then if he doesn't.
I'm sorry, Counselor, if you could kindly approach your microphone.
Sorry. I ask that he be screened from pretrial release, and then if he doesn't qualify, that a monetary bond set.
I'm assuming he wasn't screened because they didn't have his name.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I don't think we know that he has no criminal history.
That's fine, offer wasn't conveyed, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure, Your Honor, if he qualifies or not. I would just ask that he be screened, and then if not, because I don't know.
Was he screened for pretrial release?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll order that he be screened for pretrial release. Alternatively, his bond is $500. No alcohol, cannot return to 7250 South Perkman Road. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. Good luck.
Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
All right, thank you. Sir, please tell me your name.
Orlin Bueso. Bueso. Orlin Bueso. O B U E S O.
Olin Bueso.
Sí.
21 CF 13367. You're here charged with aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer with a deadly weapon, possession of cocaine, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. At this time, I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause. Your bond is $5,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. Sir, can you not hear?
No escucha muy bien.
I can't hear you very well.
All right, well, let's just take the headset off and just do it over the overhead.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Sorry, I don't know what that's about.
I don't either, Judge. I'm sorry.
That's okay, thank you. So, I don't know where to start. Sir, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
Señor, voy a asignarle un abogado para que lo represente.
There is probable cause.
Existe motivo fundado.
Your bond is $5,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and $100 on count 3.
Sus fianzas son las siguientes: $5,000 en el primer cargo, $150 en el segundo cargo y $100 en el tercer cargo.
You cannot possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition.
No se le permitirá portar armas de fuego, armas blancas o municiones.
You cannot possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription.
No puede poseer o ingerir ninguna sustancia ilícita que no sea que tenga una receta.
You also cannot possess or consume any alcoholic beverage.
Tampoco no puede poseer a bebidas alcohólicas o ingerirlas.
Sir, do you live at 5762 Kingsgate Drive?
Señor, usted vive en el 5762 Kingsgate Drive. Excuse me?
Is your residence at 5762 Kingsgate Drive?
Su residencia se encuentra en el 5762 Kingsgate Drive.
Sí.
Yes.
All right. I'll order that you must maintain a separate residence and allow one-time return with law enforcement to gather belongings.
Le ordeno que tiene que mantener una residencia separada, se le permitirá regresar una sola vez acompañado de un oficial del orden público para recopilar sus pertenencias.
So you'll have to find another place to live now.
Usted tendrá que buscarse otro lugar donde quedarse en este momento.
You cannot have any contact with any witness in this case.
No se le permitirá contacto con ningún testigo en este caso.
Any other conditions the state would request?
La fiscalía está pidiendo algunas otras condiciones.
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
All right, good luck, sir.
Buena suerte, caballero.
Please tell me your name.
Por favor, dígame su nombre despacio en voz alta.
Jonathan Caroca Herrera.
Jonathan Caroca Herrera.
21 CF 13365. You're here charged with possessing an anti-shoplifting device.
Usted lo acusan de poseer un dispositivo antihurto.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Le voy a asignar un abogado para que lo represente.
There is probable cause.
Existe motivo fundado.
Your bond is $2,500.
Su fianza será $2,500.
You cannot return to the outlet mall at International Drive.
No se le permitirá regresar al sitio comercial Outlet Mall at International Drive.
You can have no contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant in this case.
No se le permitirá tener contacto con ninguna víctima, testigo o coacusado en este caso.
Sir, do you understand I'm ordering that you cannot return to any store at the outlet mall on International Drive?
Usted entiende que le estoy prohibiendo que usted regrese a ninguna tienda ubicada en el Outlet Mall del International Drive. Sorry, Your Honor, the interpreter did not hear a response from the defendant.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, good luck, sir.
Okay. Buena suerte, joven.
Please tell me your name.
Por favor, dígame su nombre despacio y en voz alta, por favor.
Efraín Misla Fontanes.
Clarification, Your Honor. Me dijo Efraín.
Misla Fontanes.
Efraín Misla Otanes.
This is 21 CF 13342. Sir, you're here charged with trafficking and MDMA with a weapon, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon.
Usted está aquí por traficar MDMA con arma mortífera, posesión de cocaína con intentos de traficar con arma de fuego,
Possession of MDMA,
posesión de MDMA,
possession of cocaine with a weapon,
posesión de cocaína con un arma,
possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon,
posesión de cannabis con intenciones de vender o entregar con un arma,
carrying a concealed firearm,
portar un arma oculta
and possession of drug paraphernalia.
y posesión de parafernalia de drogas.
For the interpreter, he looks like he's trying to say something to the correction staff, but I don't know what it is. Can you ask him if he...
Certainly, Your Honor. Señor, ¿qué le quiere decir usted al oficial?
Que necesito un abogado. Yo pedí un abogado.
I need an attorney. I've asked for an attorney.
Yes. At this time, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
En este momento le voy a asignar un abogado para que lo represente.
The purpose of this hearing is for me to advise you of the charges against you, whether there's probable cause, and set bond.
El propósito de esta vista es para avisarle a ustedes de los cargos que enfrentan, avisarles si existe motivo fundado y programarle la fianza.
In this case, there is probable cause.
En este caso existe motivo fundado.
Does the state wish to be heard on bond?
La fiscalía quiere opinar sobre la fianza.
Your Honor, state would just ask that you set a reasonable bond. He is charged with at least 2 F1s, multiple F2s, and an M1, so state just ask for a reasonable bond as to all counts.
Su señoría, pedimos una fianza razonable. Lo acusan de 2 delitos mayores de primer grado, más 2 de delito mayor de segundo grado y otros delitos menores de primer grado. Así es que pedimos una fianza razonable.
And Your Honor, I just ask that you consider, he has no convictions here in Florida and 0 failures to appear, as well
Señoría,
as,
solamente queremos que considere que él no tiene condenas aquí en la Florida, no tiene faltas de comparecencia, al igual que
it appears he has been here over a year.
y parece que ha estado aquí presente más de un año.
So I'd ask that you consider reducing the bond amounts and placing my client on pretrial release.
Por lo tanto, pido que usted considere reducir la cantidad de la fianza y coloque a mi cliente en el programa de libertad provisional.
Thank you both.
Gracias a ambos.
Give me one moment.
Permítame un momento.
Sir, at this time, your bond on count 1 is $250,000.
Señor, su fianza en el primer cargo será programada en $250,000.
I'll treat the others as subsidiaries. So on counts 2, 3, actually, no. On counts, yes, I will. Counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, your bond is $150.
Los otros cargos los voy a considerar subsidiarios. En el segundo, tercero, no, bueno, sí. En el segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto y sexto cargo serán fianzas de $150.
Count 7, it's $100.
El séptimo cargo son $100.
With special conditions, you can have no contact with any witness or co-defendant in this case.
Con condiciones especiales que se le prohíbe contacto con ningún testigo o coacusado en este caso,
Or with any known drug dealers.
o ningún vendedor de drogas.
You cannot possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription.
No puede poseer o ingerir ninguna sustancia ilícita que no sea que tiene una receta válida.
You cannot possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition.
No se le permitirá portar armas de fuego, armas blancas o municiones.
Good luck, sir.
Buena suerte, caballero.
Please tell me your name.
Por favor, dígame su nombre despacio y en voz alta, por favor.
Alejandro Patricio Rojas Ruz.
Despacito, señor, por favor. Despacio y en voz alta.
Alejandro Patricio Rojas Ruz.
Alejandro Patricio Rojas Ruz.
21 CF 13364. You're here charged with possession of an anti-shoplifting device.
Usted está aquí presente por portar o poseer un dispositivo antihurto.
There is probable cause.
Existe motivo fundado.
I'll appoint an attorney to represent you.
Le voy a asignar un abogado para que lo represente.
Your bond is $2,500.
Su fianza estará programada en $2,500.
With special conditions, you can have no contact with the co-defendant or any victim or witness in this case.
Con condiciones especiales que no se le va a permitir contacto con cualquier víctima, testigo o coacusado en este caso.
You cannot return to any store at the outlet mall on International Drive.
No se le permitirá regresar a ninguna tienda ubicada en el outlet mall que se encuentra en International Drive.
That's all. Good luck, sir.
Eso es todo. Muy buena suerte, caballero.
I think he has a question. Can you ask him?
Usted tiene pregunta, caballero.
Sí, señorita, que quería saber cómo lo puedo hacer para cancelar eso.
Clarification, Your Honor. Repita, señor, que cómo puede hacer para hacer qué.
Para cancelar la fianza.
What do I need to do to pay the bond?
I can't give you advice about that. You can call your attorney. The phone number's on that piece of paper.
Yo no le puedo dar consejo legal, señor. Usted puede llamar a su abogado. El número se encuentra en ese papel que le están entregando.
Or you can call a bondsman.
O usted puede ponerse en contacto con un fiador.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
Buena suerte.
All right, is that all for Spanish?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for your services.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good morning.
You as well. This one? Can you have them say their name?
Bradley Gerard Langford.
21MM 6711. Ms. George, your office represents him?
We're going to enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Division 63, pretrial conference is October 28th, 1 p.m., courtroom 12C.
Good luck, sir. Good morning. Please tell me your name, sir.
Michael Lee Bennett.
Sir, you're here in 21MM 7193, charged with resisting an officer without violence. Was there an offer in this case?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Hold on one moment. Mr. Bennett, you look really familiar to me. Have you seen me recently?
For an open container, yes.
I thought so. Okay. All right, sir. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case.
We'll enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, there is probable cause here. Sir, your bond is $500.
It's a normal case.
You can't return to the Christian Service Center. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right, good luck, sir.
Sorry. Just looking at the rights.
Please tell me your name.
Dana Brown.
Brown. 21MM 684. You're here charged with resisting an officer without violence. Ms. George?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served. I did speak to Mr. Brown. We went over all the rights he would be given up. He understands those rights and would like to accept the state's offer.
Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You had an opportunity to speak with an attorney before court about the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
No.
All right, you had the opportunity to review that form in front of you. That further explains those rights. Do you have any questions for me about that?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that.
Yes.
I see that he has a conviction in July of this year for possession of a drug and paraphernalia. That's a felony. He's not on probation? Are we confident?
Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor, he's not.
All right. You also understand, sir, that if you enter a plea today and you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported.
I am.
All right, sir, at this time, how do you wish to plead to the charge of resisting an officer without violence?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay them. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Max Cole.
21MM 7203. You're here charged with trespass on property after warning. Ms. George?
Your Honor, there was an offer from the state of a withhold credit time served. However, my client does not have any criminal history and would likely qualify for pretrial diversion. So in this case, I would ask for an ROR. He's been here in Florida all his life. So I just asked for an ROR in this case.
What says the state?
Your Honor, state has no objection. We just ask for a no return to Nice Library.
What is that?
It's a bar.
That's what I thought. All right, sir, at this time, there is probable cause for your arrest. However, I will release you on your own recognizance with a special condition that you may not return to the Knights Library or have any contact with any witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck. Oh, and I'm appointing the PD.
Christopher Griffiths.
21MM686, you're here charged with obstruction by false information.
Your Honor, state did convey an offer of an adjudication credit time served.
I don't know.
Ms. George?
I was waiting for you to find PC first.
Okay, give me 1 second. There is probable cause here.
There states making an offer of adjudication of guilt, credit time served. I did speak to Mr. Griffiths. We went over all the rights he would be giving up. He understands those rights, and he would like to accept the state's offer. And he also knows he still has a hold for Lake County, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, help you God?
I do.
All right, sir. You had an opportunity to speak with an attorney before court about the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported.
Yes, ma'am.
You had a chance to review that form in front of you. It further explains those rights. Do you have any questions for me about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. At this time, how do you wish to plead to the charge of obstruction by false information?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the... How
1
long has he
day.
been in? One?
1 day, Your Honor.
2 days?
1 day.
1.
Okay, the 1 day that you've been in custody, I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that.
Your Honor, can you make it a year from release? Because he's still being held.
Yes, I'll give you a year from the date of release to pay those court costs. Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Sheridan Mitchell.
21MM7198, you're here charged with trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance.
There's no offer, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause here.
I didn't understand what you said, ma'am.
I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is $500. You cannot return to Advent Hospital South, located at 601 East Rollins Street, without an appointment or a medical emergency. And you can't have contact with any witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, ma'am.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, ma'am.
One refused court.
21MM7192, I'll find his refusal a willing waiver of his appearance today. There is probable cause. His bond is $500. No return to the scene. Did I appoint the PD?
Dwayne Woodson.
All right, thank you, sir. 21MM7190, you're here charged with petty theft.
There is not an offer today, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Give me 1 moment, sir. There is probable cause.
Your Honor, that's why there's no offer. The
I see.
allegations are odd.
Your bond is $500. You're not allowed to return to the scene or have contact with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I show that you're a sex offender or a sexual predator. You must comply with all your registration requirements. Do you understand? All right, good luck.
Jesus Crespo Rodriguez Jr.
21 MO 1170. You're here charged with disorderly conduct.
Your Honor, the state's offering on the city's behalf a withhold of adjudication credit time served. I did speak to Mr. Rodriguez. We went over all the rights he would be giving up. He understands those rights and would like to accept the state's offer here today.
Yes.
I don't know that I'm inclined to do that, Ms. George. The allegations here are violent. He has a history of violent arrests.
Your Honor, I would just point to the fact that my client hasn't had a conviction since 2017, and he also has no violent convictions here on his record. He only has one misdemeanor, zero, not that that matters, 0 felonies or failures to appear. I would just ask that you allow him to resolve the case today.
He can resolve it. I just don't know that I'll withhold adjudication.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you had an opportunity to speak with an attorney before court about the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
No, ma'am.
You had a chance to review that form in front of you. It further explains those rights. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate it?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, how do you wish to plead to the charge of disorderly conduct?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. Sir, what happened here? What started this fight?
I guess it was just a misunderstanding in downtown. That's pretty much what happened.
A misunderstanding between who?
I was pretty much just a bystander, really. I had no sort of initiation or not, like I was just a bystander.
All right, so then how did you get involved?
The wrong place at the wrong time. Honestly.
So what did you see that made you get involved?
Somebody looked like they were about to hit me.
But you don't know him?
No, ma'am.
Do you know Gary Rodriguez?
I know him, yeah. Yes.
How do you know Gary?
We went to school together.
So were you and Gary out downtown together?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why Gary hit this unknown person?
No, I was just confused the whole time. Like I said, I took it as a misunderstanding. That's how I take it.
All right, at this time, I'll withhold adjudication, give you credit for the time you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. Court costs is around $300. How long will it take you to pay that?
Is there some sort of payment plan that I can go on, or?
You can be on a payment plan.
I'd ask for a year.
He has a job. I'm not inclined to give him a year.
It looks like it's only part-time, and he's only been there for 5 months. I'm not sure how, if he still has it, I'm not sure, Your Honor, and because of that, I would just ask for a year so that he has time to pay it.
I'm not inclined to do that.
He stated his first day of work is actually today, Your Honor.
All right, so how much could you afford on a payment plan?
I mean, I'd pretty much take whatever would be offered to me. I would appreciate it.
Your Honor, could we do $20 a month, starting, I would say, 60 days from today's date, or 30, just so that he has a chance to get his paycheck, so that he can start paying monthly payments?
All right, I'll say it's $30 a month, and it'll start November 15th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Your Honor.
You as well.
Yeah, Rodriguez.
21 MO 1171, you're here charged with disorderly conduct.
And the state is offering, on behalf of the city, a withhold of adjudication, credit time served. I did speak to Mr. Rodriguez. We went over all the rights he would be giving up. He understands those rights. He also understands that even if he accepts a plea today, you could still revoke his out on bond, Your Honor. However, we would ask that because he's resolving this case, that you not take any action on the out on bond.
Raise your right hand, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you had a chance to speak with an attorney before court about the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, I don't know if you have a different face sheet than I do, or information sheet. However, he does have criminal history. And a lot of it.
I don't have it, so you'll have to tell me what it is. I'm interested in convictions, not just arrests.
He had a 2020 bad DV that was dropped. He had a 2018 Willis adjudication from Seminole. He had a 2017 possession of cannabis and violation of curfew withhold. 2017 bad DV criminal mischief, no pros. 2016 Willis withhold. 2016 cannabis adjudication. 15 Willis adjudication. 2014 possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, cannabis with intent to sell or weapon, firearm by a convicted felon that was consolidated into attempted first degree murder with a firearm, ag assault with a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of cocaine, and possession of cocaine with intent to sell or with a weapon. That case was 2014. He ended up pleading to the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and the possession of cocaine. In 2013, he had a fleeing and attempting to elude that was adjudicated. 2012 battery, no pros. 2010 robbery with a firearm, theft, and ag bat with a firearm, no pros. 2010 drug paraphernalia and cannabis adjudication. And then some juvenile history, Your Honor.
What's the last conviction, the most recent?
Most recent conviction would be a 2018 Willis from Seminole.
And he's out on bond for a drug case.
Yes, Your Honor, that case came in possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver and possession of cannabis over 20. We ended up filing the possession of cannabis over 20 and paraphernalia.
Your Honor, he is willing to talk to you. I just wanted to make sure.
All right. Did you already swear him in? All right. You understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Do you have any questions for me about the rights you're giving up by entering a plea today?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that you're currently out on bond for a criminal charge, and this court could revoke that bond and hold you at no bond, even if you enter a plea to this charge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. With all of that in mind, sir, how do you wish to plead to the charge of disorderly conduct?
I'm gonna plead guilty, ma'am.
And he would like to say something to you.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I know I was wrong for what I got arrested for. The situation was over. It was over the guy asking me if I was gonna tip the other guy, and we got into an argument from there. And I got a little over upset, and I threw my hot dog. And the hot dog did not hit the guy or nothing. But because of that is why I went to jail. And I want to say, just because it was a hot dog, I was still wrong for that. I shouldn't have thrown the hot dog. I should have spoke to the guy and just walked away from it if I got too mad. And I just want to let you know that it won't happen again.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. What was the state's offer?
Your Honor, due to being a city case, it was a withhold correct unserved.
All right, sir, at this time, I'll accept your plea of guilty. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll withhold adjudication, give you credit for the 1 day that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. That's around $300. How long will that take you?
Give me $100. Give me 2 months and I'll get it paid off.
Are you sure you can do it in 2?
Yes, ma'am.
I would just say 6, Your Honor, just to be sure, if that's okay.
I'll give him 6. He has 6 months to pay that. Does the state have the arrest affidavit in the out on bond case?
Yes, Your Honor.
I wish they were linked in here, but they're not. Hold on, I think I can pull it up. Oh, it'll take a while. Has the state filed in that case?
Yes, Your Honor. It came in with cannabis intent to sell and cannabis over 20. We filed cannabis over 20.
And paraphernalia. I thought that's what you said. Thank you. Well, Mr. Rodriguez, the court appreciates your candor this morning, and I reviewed this affidavit for the case for which you're out on bond. And this court appreciates that you, in both cases, have taken responsibility for yourself. And in that case, you didn't cause problems for the law enforcement officers. And I respect that. So at this time, I'm not going to take any action on that case.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good luck. You have 30 days to appeal in writing. You need this or no?
We have Gerardo David Bundy.
Okay.
My name is Carl Green.
21 CT 6821. Sir, you're here charged with driving under the influence with a balance greater than .20. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Give me one moment. There is probable cause. Your bond is $1,000. You can't possess or consume any alcoholic beverage or controlled substance. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol screens. You can't drive without a valid Florida license. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
DaCosta?
21 CF 13345. You're here charged with failure to redeliver a hired vehicle. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I reviewed this affidavit. There is probable cause here. Your bond is $1,000. You can have no victim, witness, or co-defendant contact. Do you understand that? You have to answer out loud.
Yes.
You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Any other conditions the state would request?
Your Honor, state would ask for no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand? Good luck, sir.
Davis Jesse Bonded. State your name.
Alexis Booth.
21 CF 13359. You're here charged with 2 counts of possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, carrying a concealed weapon, grand theft of a motor vehicle, and resisting an officer without violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Give me one moment. All right, Ms. George, did you want to be heard on probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
I believe there is probable cause. I reviewed the affidavit,
Um,
but I wanted to give you that opportunity.
no, Your Honor, no arguments.
So he was released on September 14th. Is that from probation or DOC? Does anyone know?
It's out of Seminole, so I don't have it, Your Honor.
Okay.
Sure.
DOC.
It says orange.
They said DLC, Your Honor.
It says DOC.
Okay. It says orange and Seminole.
You can double check, but there maybe was a global.
Okay. In this case, sir, your bond on count 1 is $5,000. This is 3359, 13359. Just a moment. I'll treat the others as subsidiaries. 2, 3, 4, and 5, your bond is $150. 6, your bond is $100. With special conditions, you can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't have contact with any victim, witness, or the co-defendant in this case. Then in 21 CF 13360, you're here charged with possession of MDMA. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause. Your bond is $1,000. You can't possess or consume any controlled substance or have contact with any known drug dealers. In 21 MM 7197, you're here charged with resisting without violence. Again, I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause and your bond is $500. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck, sir.
State your name.
21 CF 9389. Sir, a warrant was issued for your arrest, charging you with burglary of a dwelling with assault or battery, and aggravated assault with intent to commit a felony. Another judge has already found probable cause in this case. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Ms. May?
Your Honor, given that count 1 is a first-degree felony punishable by life, state's asking that you hold a no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
George?
We reserve the right to have an Arthur here.
All right. At this time, you'll have no bond on count 1. Your bond on... Stay right here. You don't want to hear about your bond, sir? Okay. I'll find that a waiver of the rest of his appearance. I'll stay the bond at $2,500 on count 2. No contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant, not returned to the scene for any reason, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Also must comply with all of his sex offender reporting requirements.
Julian McIntosh, ma'am.
Thank you. 21 CF 13370. Sir, you're here charged with aggravated assault with a weapon, battery, and resisting an officer without violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. There is probable cause. Give me one moment. All right, sir, your bond is $5,000 on count 1, $100 on counts 2 and 3. With special conditions, you can have no contact with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You can't return to the scene for any reason. You can't be within 500 feet of the victim's residence or place of employment.
Ma'am, did my first bond go up?
Yes, it did. At this time, I'm revoking your bonds in 21 MM 4762, 21 CF 8153, and 21 MM 6742. Good luck, sir.
What bonds that is?
I'm sorry?
What charges that is that you revoked?
I revoked your bond on trespass on property after warning, possession of cocaine, drug paraphernalia, and cannabis, and criminal mischief.
I was misunderstood 'cause I went to court on that and they told me like no charges ain't been filed for like 3 months. And I got like PRR and like I think they like not PR, like they released me on them charges.
Right, so you were out on bond.
For the 33-day motion, but not filing charges, they didn't file charges, so the state released me on my own and I paid a bond for it the same day. But you'll see the surety, my PD put in 33 motion for you not filing charges to release me on my own, and they released me on all 3 of them charges.
Right, but when you've been released either on bond or on your own recognizance, if you're arrested for a new criminal offense, the court can and often does revoke those bonds.
Even if it ain't even been picked up in 3 months, like the state still haven't filed charges on them.
Right, it doesn't matter if they have.
The criminal mischief has been filed, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what?
The criminal mischief has been filed.
I caught that in here.
Okay. Well, your attorney's going to have to file a motion. Good luck, sir.
Kareem Muhammad.
21 CF 13255. A warrant was issued for your arrest, charging you with burglary of a conveyance and petty theft. Another judge has already found probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $2,500 on count 1, $500 on count 2. With special conditions, you can have no contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant in the case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You can't return to the scene for any reason. All right, good luck, sir.
Roman Bonded.
Jacob Salazar.
21 CF 13353. You're here charged with possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with a firearm, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony, possession of drug paraphernalia. At this time, sir, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause. Give me one moment. Does the state wish to be heard on bond on count one?
Your Honor, state would just request that you set a reasonable bond. Taking into account his previous history, his last conviction was possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, and cannabis with intent to sell and deliver, and paraphernalia, which is very similar to what we have in this affidavit.
At this time, your bond is $25,000 on count one.
So that means 2,500.
That's between you and a bondsman.
All right.
You have to ask them.
Okay.
$150 on count two, $4,000 on count three, and $100 on count four. You can have no contact with any known drug dealers. You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition, or any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir.
Seeley Raymond, you refuse court.
All right, 21 CF 6666. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office in both of these cases. That's a capias.
Yes, Your Honor.
His bond is $1,500 and I can't read this. 100. And then in 21 CF 13366, petty theft with 2 priors, I'll appoint your office in that case. There is probable cause. His bond is $1,000, no return, no victim or witness contact.
Eric Sudbury.
21 CF 13368, you're here charged with battery on a uniform or licensed security officer. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Give me
Your
one
Honor,
moment.
I just ask that you consider, it appears he has mental health issues, and it looks like.
Trigger me.
Don't talk about the facts. And it looks like he even had an involuntary placement in June of this year. So I just ask that you consider that when setting the bond in this case, Your Honor. It looks like majority of his history is thefts, not violence, Your Honor.
I see that. Thank you.
And, well, the beginning of this affidavit, the reason that led to the violence was an alleged theft.
All right, so your bond is $2,500. With special conditions, you can have no contact with the victim or any witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yeah.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You can't return to this scene for any reason. All right, good luck, sir.
Wait for the arraignment, Your Honor.
All right.
What happened to Mr. Vega?
I just figured we'd go back to it.
Mr. Vega refused court.
21 CF 13356.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor. Oh,
All right. I'll appoint your office,
Thank you.
but also his refusal is a willing waiver. There is probable cause. His bond is $1,000 on the possession of fentanyl, $100 on drug paraphernalia. Cannot possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or have contact with any known drug dealers, and I'm revoking his bond in 21 CF 12572.
and we're already appointed on that one, correct? I just want to make sure he has an attorney.
Yes.
Thank you.
Chad Carr is medical.
21 CT 1716, Ms. George, you're already appointed.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Division 61 pretrial conference, November 15th, 9 a.m., courtroom 6B.
All right, enter plea of not guilty.
Demetrius Harmon, medical.
21 MM 6786, Ms. George, you're already appointed in that as well.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty.
Division 63 pretrial conference, October 28th at 1 p.m., courtroom 12C.
Donald Hope, medical.
20 MM 6530, I'll appoint your office, Ms. George.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty.
Division 81 pretrial conference, November 5th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4E.
Hi, my name is Brooke Myers.
Good morning. 21 MM 7074. Ms. George, your office is appointed in this case.
I'll enter plea of not guilty.
Division 81 pretrial conference, November 15th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4E.
Good luck, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes. Do you have a question?
no.
No. Good luck. You're done.
Am I discharged? I'm confused.
No.
Okay, what am I looking at?
Your next court date is here.
Call the phone number on that piece of paper and talk to your attorney about your case.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good luck.
Pablos Alexandria, medical.
21 MM 7076. Ms. George, your office represents her.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty.
Division 62 pretrial conference, November 8th, 8:30 a.m., courtroom 9B.
Jackie Wallace, medical.
21 MM 5313. I'll appoint the public defender's office. Wait,
Oh, sorry.
it says the summons was unserved. So I'll return this to the state to perfect service.
Okay.
We're going to verify if he's been served. Thank you. All right, service wasn't perfected. Ms. May, you guys know where he is, but you've got to serve him for him to
I'll
be.
have him served today, Your Honor.
Okay. So they'll see him tomorrow. What about Jesse Patillo? It's an arraignment case, 21 MM 370. He bonded? All right, thank you. All right. We're going to have to do the 33-day motions a lot slower this time.
Okay.
So the motions and the orders are not together. So that'll take forever. All right.
You are here for an initial appearance after detention. The rules of criminal procedure require that you be brought before a judicial officer within 24 hours of your arrest. The purpose of the initial appearance is to have a judge list the charges against you, inform you of certain rights that you have, and to determine the conditions of your release. You should have already received a copy of these charges. The judge will review your paperwork to determine if there was probable cause to arrest you. If the judge finds probable cause, he or she will then determine if you qualify for bond and what the monetary and non-monetary conditions of your bond should be. If the judge does not have enough information to make a probable cause determination for your arrest, the state may be given additional time to amend the paperwork. You should also be aware of the following rights afforded to you by the Constitution. You are not required to say anything at this proceeding. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to communicate with counsel, family, or friends, and if necessary, you will be provided a reasonable means to do so. You have the right to counsel. If you have not already retained counsel and cannot afford counsel, the judge will appoint you a public defender. For the purposes of today's initial appearance proceedings, you may be able to briefly speak with a public defender regardless of whether the public defender is appointed for you. In order to have an attorney appointed by the court to represent you, you must be financially eligible, as determined by the court based on financial information you provide. Therefore, if you have not already done so, please complete, to the best of your knowledge, the financial affidavits provided by the correction officers. An application fee for the services of appointed counsel will be assessed. If you do not speak English or Spanish, please let a corrections officer know. When the judge is ready, she or he will begin calling your case by name. Please listen carefully for your name. When called, please approach the microphone as directed by the corrections officers. Thank you.
And as she's starting to call.
Usted se encuentra aquí para una audiencia o vista preliminaria, después de haber sido arrestado. Las leyes y estatutos criminales del estado de la Florida requieren que se celebre una vista preliminaria ante un oficial judicial dentro de un plazo de 24 horas después de su arresto. El propósito de esta vista preliminaria es para que el juez pronuncie los cargos contra usted, para que se les comunique a usted sus derechos procesales y para determinar las condiciones de su libertad o fianza. Ya usted debería haber recibido una copia de estas alegaciones o acusaciones por escrito. Ahora, el juez revisará la documentación en su caso para determinar si existe motivo fundado o causa probable para su arresto y detención. Si el juez determina que existe causa probable o motivo fundado, entonces decidirá si usted califica para que se le otorgue una fianza, tanto como cuáles serían las condiciones monetarias o no monetarias de dicha fianza. Si el juez no posee suficiente información para determinar si existe causa probable o motivo fundado para justificar el arresto, se le concederá a la Fiscalía tiempo adicional para modificar la documentación. También se les avisa que posee los siguientes derechos que se les otorgan por la Constitución. A usted no se le puede obligar a decir nada durante esta vista. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá ser utilizada en su contra como evidencia. Usted tiene el derecho de comunicarse con un abogado, pariente o amigo, y si es necesario, que se les proporcione los medios razonables y disponibles para hacerlo. Usted tiene el derecho a un abogado. Si todavía no ha encontrado o contratado un abogado y no tiene los recursos para hacerlos, entonces el juez le nombrará un defensor público. Para el propósito de la audiencia preliminaria de hoy, se le permitirá hablar brevemente con un abogado de la Oficina del Defensor Público, aun cuando no se le haya nombrado para representarle en todo el caso. Para poder recibir la designación de un abogado, primero debe calificar económicamente según lo determine el juez. Esto será basado en la información financiera que usted proporcione aquí. Por lo tanto, si no lo ha hecho todavía de la mejor manera posible, por favor, llene el formulario de insolvencia económica que se le ha proporcionado por el oficial de correcciones. Se le impondrá un recargo o costo por los servicios del defensor público. Si usted no habla inglés, por favor, hágale saber al oficial de correcciones. Cuando esté listo, el juez comenzará el proceso llamando a cada una persona y caso por su nombre. Por favor, esté pendiente para pasar adelante cuando escuche su nombre, y cuando escuche su nombre, haga el favor de acercarse al micrófono, tal como le indique el oficial de correcciones. Muchas gracias por su atención.
Good afternoon, Osceola County Corrections. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Your Honor, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Madam Assistant Public Defender, if you can tell me your name, please.
Rose Hernandez on behalf of the Public Defender.
Thanks, Mr. Hernandez.
who are our Assistant State Attorneys?
Sofia Barrios Sanchez and Vidya Budan.
All right, thank you. And for pretrial release?
Officer Pat Hill on behalf of PTR.
Thank you, Officer Hill. Right, good afternoon, everyone out at the jail facility. My name's Keith Carson. I'm one of the circuit judges. I'm going to be doing initial appearances today. My role in this process this afternoon is pretty limited. Basically, what I'll be doing is making a determination as to whether I feel there's probable cause for the arrest that's already happened. After that, we're going to talk about getting an attorney on board for you if you qualify. And after that, we're going to be talking about any conditions of bond that may be able to get you back to your lives while these cases get sorted out. I know many of you are probably disagreeing with some of the allegations in the affidavits, either the affidavit by the probation officer or the affidavit by the arresting officer. Today's not a day really for that discussion. I'll hear out the assistant public defender if there's a probable cause argument. But if you have a disagreement about the facts, you should probably wait to talk to your attorney and the trial judge about any of those disagreements. We're going to take our Spanish-speaking cases first.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barrera. Mr. Barrera, we are doing initial appearances. You'll be doing the interpreting over the intercom system.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Carlos Ortiz Rosado. Good afternoon, Mr. Ortiz Rosado.
Buenas tardes, señor Ortiz Rosado.
I don't know if his microphone is on.
Your Honor, we have a probable cause argument in this case.
Su señoría, argumento sobre motivo fundado en este caso.
All right, thank you. I'm ready.
Gracias. ¿Está listo?
Your Honor, we would argue that there was no probable cause in this case because I do not believe that there is probable cause for element 2, which is that the officer that arrested Mr. Ortiz was not engaged in the execution of a legal process at the time.
Just a moment, counsel. Su señoría, no creemos que existe motivo fundado en este caso porque no hay motivo fundado en el elemento número 2 porque el oficial que lo arrestó no estaba ejecutando un acto legal.
I would point out that the only reason why Mr. Ortiz was stopped by the officer is that he was walking down the street, passing by vehicles, and the officer thought that Mr. Ortiz was looking through the window. However, the officer did not know that this was a high crime area. He did not note any kind of nervousness or furtive movements on behalf of Mr. Ortiz.
Just a moment, counsel. La única razón por la cual él fue detenido porque él estaba caminando en una área, el oficial pensó que le estaba mirando hacia adentro de los vehículos. Él no estaba consciente de que era un área de crimen elevado. El acusado no hizo ningunos movimientos furtivos.
And Mr. Ortiz did not take flight when he noticed the police officer. So therefore, defense would argue that the four corners of this affidavit do not show that the officer even had reasonable suspicion to believe that Mr. Ortiz was engaged in criminal activity. So because of that, that's why we would say that there is no probable cause for element 2, which requires lawful execution of a legal duty.
Y basado en lo que contiene la affidavit, no creemos que el oficial policíaco tenía sospecha razonable de que le estuviera cometiendo un acto delictivo y por lo tanto no creemos que él fue detenido basado en un acto legal ejecutado por el oficial.
Take care to give a response.
Yes, Your
Fiscalía.
Honor. Your Honor, the officer stopped Mr. Ortiz Rosado at 10:30 at night. It was nighttime. He observed him walking on the street, looking into parked vehicles.
Su señoría, el oficial detuvo al señor Ortiz Rosado a las 10:30 de la noche. Era de noche, él lo observó caminando cerca de unos vehículos que estaban estacionando y estaba mirando hacia adentro de los vehículos.
The officer asked Mr. Ortiz Rosado to provide some identification.
numerous times, Mr. Ortiz Rosado refused to provide identifications, identify himself.
Él le pidió al señor Ortiz Rosado que se identificara en varias ocasiones. El señor Ortiz Rosado se negó a identificarse en varias ocasiones.
He kept putting his hands in his pockets, and the officer kept having to remind him to remove them.
Él seguía colocando sus manos en los bolsillos. El oficial tenía que seguir recordándole que debería de sacarla de los bolsillos.
And then Mr. Ortiz Rosado turned to his left, made an abrupt movement towards a waist bag that he had slung over his shoulder, which created a situation that could have potentially been unsafe for the officer.
Entonces, de repente, el señor Ortiz hizo un movimiento abrupto hacia una bolsa que tenía en su lado izquierdo, posiblemente creando una situación insegura para el oficial.
And then once the officer did detain Mr. Ortiz Rosado, Mr. Ortiz Rosado tensed up and attempted to pull away from him.
Tan pronto el señor Ortiz Rosado fue detenido, él se puso tenso y trató de manera forzosa de alejarse del oficial.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Nada más, su señoría. Muchísimas gracias.
All right, I don't know what, if anything, the state's going to decide to charge on this case. I do find that the affidavit taking the allegations is true, which I lost at making a probable cause determination, establishes probable cause. He qualifies for a non-monetary form of release and pretrial release. The court's going to impose pretrial release, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interests.
No sé lo que la fiscalía va a decidir referente a los cargos, pero basado en el affidavit que yo determino ser cierto y correcto, determino que existe motivo fundado. Él reúne requisitos para una libertad no monetaria. Vamos a ver si podemos entablarle la libertad provisional. Voy a asignarle las oficinas al defensor público para que lo represente.
Well done, Mr. Interpreter. Thanks.
So, Your Honor, that's going to be direct PTR?
Correct.
Entonces va a ser libertad vigilada, libertad prejudicial directa, sí, su señoría.
Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, do you have a case number for this last defendant, Judge?
Yes, of course. It's 21 MM2708.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'm sorry, did you say that was it for the interpreter, or do you have other cases, Judge?
No, I have two more.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jane Doe 617.
I have a probable cause argument in this case as well, Your Honor.
Tengo un argumento de motivo fundado en este caso también, su señoría.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Buenas tardes, señora. Good afternoon.
Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
¿Me puede decir su nombre, señora? Despacito y en voz alta, por favor.
Luz María Fabián López.
Despacito, por favor. Luz María.
Fabián.
Gracias. Luz María Fabián López.
Ms. Fabian Lopez, good afternoon. You are here for initial appearance.
Buenas tardes, señorita Fabián López. Usted está aquí para comparecencias iniciales.
Mr. Hernandez.
Licenciada Hernández.
Yes, Your Honor, we would argue that there is not probable cause for this case. The charging affidavit, it indicates that the only thing that the officers used to base this charge on is just Ms. Doe's own statements. The charging affidavit does not indicate that there was a query done through FCIC or NCIC, and it does not indicate that the vehicle's tag was run.
Just a moment, counsel. Su señoría argumentaba que no existe motivo fundado en este caso. Lo único que usaron los oficiales para determinar el motivo sospecha razonable es las propias declaraciones de la sospechosa. No hicieron un reviso de la database estatal o federal para determinar el estatus del vehículo.
So even if Your Honor finds that that is not a probable cause argument, we would say that that's at the very least a corpus issue.
Así es que si su señoría no determina que eso es una duda de motivo fundado, por lo menos determinamos que es un asunto de corte.
The affidavit establishes probable cause for the allegations. Court is going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Ms. Fabian Lopez's interests.
El tribunal determina que la affidavit determina motivo fundado y vamos a asignar las oficinas al defensor público para que represente a la señorita Fabián López.
Does PTR, are they able to take this case, or is there an immigration issue?
El Departamento de Libertad Prejuicial puede aceptar este caso. Existen inconvenientes de inmigración.
We are not able to supervise her at this time, although it does appear she does have a valid passport. She's not sure how long she's going to be in the area.
No podemos supervisarla en este momento, aunque ella tenga un pasaporte válido en este momento. Ella no está segura cuánto tiempo va a permanecer en el área.
Court's going to set bond in the amount of $100 or pretrial release if she qualifies.
Si reúne requisitos, el tribunal va a programar una fianza de $100 con condiciones de libertad provisional.
Thank you.
Gracias. And Your Honor, does the court have a case number for this last defendant?
My apologies, Mr. Brewer. It's 21 CT 2765.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case that we have is Pinto Rivera. There's three cases, 21 CF 2932, 21 CF 2933, 21 CF 2934.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have a probable cause argument on only one of these cases, just one of the cases.
Su señoría, tengo un argumento de motivo fundado en solo uno de los tres casos solamente.
Is that on 21 CF 2933, the possession of cocaine?
En el caso de 21 CF 2933, el posesión de cocaína.
It was actually the one, has 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance, the one with the very short narrative.
De hecho, es los dos cortos que tienen la posesión de sustancia ilícita, que tienen un narrativo bien corto.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Ms. Pinto Rivera.
Asignamos a las oficinas del defensor público para que representen a la señorita Pinto Rivera.
Ms. Hernandez.
Licenciada Hernández.
Your Honor, defense would argue that this charging affidavit does not contain anything showing probable cause for these charges.
Su señoría, determinamos que este affidavit de cargos no contiene nada indicando motivo fundado en estos casos.
We understand that the fellow officer rule can apply in some cases. However, I found 2 cases that show that if the officer who initially collected the information himself does not have probable cause, then there is no probable cause to impute to the second officer. And I'll cite those cases for Your Honor.
Tendemos entendido que existe la regla de oficial compañero en algunos casos, pero en este caso la información que se recopiló por parte del primer oficial no puede ser imputado al segundo oficial y le puedo dar jurisprudencia.
The first case is Batiste versus Lamberti, 571 F supplement 2nd, 1286.
I'm sorry, Counselor, give me the name of that case again. Batiste.
Batiste versus Lamberti.
Thank you. En el caso de Batiste contra Lamberti, 571, suplemento 2, 286.
And the other case is Whiteley versus Warden, which is a Wyoming case. It's 401 US 560.
I'm sorry, Counsel, one more time. The name Whiteley versus
Warden.
Thank you. En el caso de Whiteley versus Warden, en caso de Wyoming, caso 401 US 56.
So the argument is that because this officer is using what Deputy Robinson told him to establish probable cause, however, the affidavit does not say on what information Robinson establishes his finding of probable cause. So because that's not contained in the affidavit, therefore there's no probable cause.
El argumento es que con este oficial recibió la información de motivo fundado mediante el oficial Robinson. En la affidavit no tiene la información y no dice cuáles fueron las razones por las cuales él determinó.
For example, it does not say that Deputy Robinson is the one who searched the vehicle. It does not say that Deputy Robinson conducted a field test on the substances that were found. So it does not say how Deputy Robinson even has the personal knowledge to show these facts that he has probable cause.
Por ejemplo, el oficial Robinson no hizo registro, no le dio la prueba a la sustancia, no indica cómo él puede tener conocimiento personal del motivo fundado. Y por lo tanto, no creemos que existe motivo fundado.
Your Honor, while those assertions may be true, if you read the charging affidavits together, Deputy Robinson stated that he located it in one of the other charging affidavits. So in the event that you do not find, the state asks that you find probable cause, but in the event that you don't, the state asks for a 24-hour reset.
Su señoría, eso pudiera ser verdad, pero leyendo el affidavit de cargos, determinamos que el oficial Robinson lo encontró en otro auto incriminatorio y por lo tanto pedimos que nos dé 24 horas para procesar los cargos.
I was provided both Deputy Robinson and Deputy Stevens' sworn reports. They make reference to each other.
Me han proporcionado las declaraciones juramentadas de ambos, el oficial Robinson y el alguacil Stevenson, y cada uno hace una referencia y menciona uno y el otro.
Court finds the reports establish probable cause for the allegations of possession of a controlled substance ×2.
Y el tribunal determina que esos autos incoatorios determinan motivo fundado en posesión de sustancia ilícita en dos ocasiones.
Possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Posesión de cocaína, posesión de parafernalia de drogas.
And carrying a concealed firearm.
Y portar un arma oculta.
Bond is going to be set in the amount of $500 as to each count on 21 CF 2932.
En el caso 21 CF 2932, $500 de fianza en cada cargo.
$1,000 as to count 1 and $500 as to count 2 and 21 CF 2933.
En el caso 21 CF 2933, $1,000 en el primer cargo, $500 en el segundo cargo.
And 21 CF 2934 bond will be set in the amount of $1,000.
En el caso 21 CF 2934 se programa la fianza en $1,000.
Standard condition of bond will be that Ms. Pinto Rivera not possess any firearms or weapons.
Condiciones de la fianza es que la señorita Pinto Rivera no se le permitirá portar armas de fuego, armas blancas.
She consumed no illegal substances.
Y no puede ingerir sustancias ilícitas.
Mr. Interpreter, I believe that's the last of our cases.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
You as well. Felix Garcia Soto. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You were arrested based on an out-of-county warrant. Looks like that's out of Polk County on 2019 CF 8022. The allegation is violation of probation. Unfortunately, they got you on a no bond. You're going to stay on no bond with us until we can get you over there, and we'll let Polk County know you're with us. Ms. Hernandez, is the Office of the Public Defender requesting appointment on out-of-county folks?
Not at this time.
Okay, thanks. James Blake, divorce. Good afternoon, Mr. Divorce.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Divorce, you were arrested based on an allegation that you violated your probation in 2015 CF 4501. My predecessor, Judge Tynan, issued a no bond warrant. The allegations are that you got behind on court costs, cost of supervision. There was an allegation that you picked up a new law offense, looks like in Alabama, with a variety of counts and a violation of Condition 7, using intoxicants or possessing drugs or narcotics. Warrant's been outstanding since 2019. Judge Tynan issued no bond. You're going to remain on no bond. I'm going to have the case, so you'll come in front of me. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests, and if there's some issue with bond or whatever, they can get you in front of me.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I spoke with your assistant. I just did 3 years in prison, and then they released me from prison.
Yes, sir.
And I was emailing with your assistant while I was out for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I did. That's fine. Okay, as I was saying, Your Honor, I was out for those 2 weeks trying
Yes.
to get the warrant redacted. They would not do that.
Right.
If you look in the caseload at the violations, when the probation was reinstated last time, those charges were already pending. Therefore, the violation is from me going to do the time, but the charges were previously dating the time that my. All I'm You understand what I'm saying, Your Honor? Sorry about that. She keeps turning my mic off on me.
That's all right, Mr. DeVores. I think she's trying to keep you from saying something that might be used against you by the assistant state attorneys that are sitting here listening to all this. I understand your correspondence. I can't talk to you ex parte while there's an active pending warrant going on, so that's why you didn't get much response from us. I'm happy to hear you out, but I want you to run everything by a assistant public defender, and then they can get you in front of me where we can have a more detailed conversation about this.
I want you to know I voluntarily turned myself.
I got you. I'll take that into consideration.
It's just you making it harder on me.
Mr. DeVores, I got plenty of time over the next week or so. Assistant Public Defender is going to be out to talk to you. I've appointed them, and if there's something that you want me to know, I promise they'll get you in front of me.
Okay.
All right.
The sooner the better, please.
Well, I understand. I understand. You're in there with a lot of people that would prefer that as well, but I'll do my very best to accommodate your case as soon as I can.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
So when's my court date?
Do we have a court date?
I have October 27th at 8:30 a.m.
We got October 27th right now on our books. But your assistant public defender can get you in front of me if there's something to talk about before that.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Felix Diaz del Canto. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you were here based on a warrant. That was a warrant from Judge Epperson. Judge Epperson, I think, indicated that you failed to appear for an arraignment. He has set a bond in your case in the amount of $500. So you are bondable. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Thanks. Shelley Paul. Is this Mr. Paul, or is this Mr. Del Canto still? Ms. Paul. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, you were arrested based on allegations that you violated your probation in 20 CF 1582. The allegations are that you got behind on your cost of supervision, that you changed residence without letting your probation officer know, that you got behind on some community service hours, that you failed to carry out the instructions of your probation officer by not coming back to Florida, and that you didn't complete community service hours as instructed by your probation officer. I think Judge Nix issued a warrant for your arrest. Judge Nix issued no bond. Going to remain on no bond until you can get in front of Judge Nix Walker. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender, and they'll know how to get you in front of her pretty quick. Thank you. Nathaniel Toothman. Welcome back, Mr. Toothman. Mr. Toothman, you are arrested on one of my warrants in 2020 CF 1230. It alleges a violation of Condition 3, which is leaving the county a resident, a violation of Condition 5, which I think is the arrest for the new law offense. I issued a no bond warrant for you. You're going to remain on no bond until we can get together and talk about it. You're also here based on a bench warrant for missing court on the new case. It says that you failed to appear for arraignment. Judge Nix Walker issued a warrant for your arrest. It has no bond. You'll remain on no bond. I think that's probably going to come my way, so that case may get transferred to me along with the violation of probation. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on that case as well.
Can I ask my court date?
If we've got one, I'll share it with you.
Yeah, October 27th at 8:30 a.m.
I think that's on the violation of probation, so we'll see you at the latest by the 27th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. T. Ray Williams. Good afternoon, Mr. Williams.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Williams, you were arrested based on a warrant. Judge Strobridge signed a warrant alleging, finding probable cause for sale of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a specified area. You do have a bond on that allegations, an amount of $5,000, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Thanks.
And Your Honor, for the record, the conditions of the bond the conditions of the warrant are no return and no drugs or alcohol?
Thank you. Yeah, it's the original conditions of bond being no return to the scene of where this is alleged to have occurred and to possess no drugs or alcohol will be a part of that bond. Yaslin Cruz Santiago. Good afternoon, Ms. Cruz Santiago.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, you were arrested for battery, domestic violence related. I have read the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for the initial arrest. I don't know what, if anything, the state will decide to do with this case. As to your conditions of release, the court is going to give you a $150 bond with pretrial release conditions. At this point, till this gets sorted out, you're not to have any contact with Miguel Acosta, and you are to maintain separate residences. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Thanks. Alicia Drennan. Good afternoon, Ms. Drennan.
Hello.
Hello. Ms. Drennan, you were arrested also for an allegation of battery, domestic violence related. I have read the charging affidavit. Sounds like something going on with your dad, and it was apparently there's a videotape that recorded some of the events. I find probable cause for your arrest. Court's going to release you on pretrial release. You're going to have a $500 bond. Do you have personal property at the, well, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender.
I have all my stuff there.
What's that?
I live there, so I have everything there.
Okay. You have any minor children there?
No, sir, I have my dog, so.
All right, without getting any information from Mr. Heyman, court's going to impose a no contact order until this gets sorted out. I'm also going to order that you not return to the location. I'll allow you to return one time to get the dogs and get some personal belongings. Your appointed attorney, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender, can get you in front of the trial judge. I don't know who that's going to be. Do we know who that's going to be?
I can look it up.
21 mm
And my
2.
dad's at the property as well. He just flew in, he just drove in from Maine to live with me. So he's living there as well. And if I'm not there, I don't know where he's gonna go. So I need to get with him because I'm his independent.
Okay, give me just a sec. Sort this out.
Sorry.
Ms. Hernandez, I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender. Do you want to talk to her with the microphone muted and find out what her relationship to Dale Heyman is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thanks. Do we know where it's going?
Epperson.
Thanks.
Mr. Heyman is her father.
Okay, and he's at the property.
Yes.
Okay. Does he live there full time?
No, we're actually in the means of trying to find a relocation because me and the ex or the gentleman that I'm living with broke up. And I can't have my dad living there with him because my dad is not very familiar with him. Scaring me.
Just a minute. All right, the charging affidavit alleges that battery upon Mr. Heyman in the house, and you've indicated that he's living there right now. So the court's going to order no contact with Mr. Heyman until this gets sorted out. You're not to return to that property except for one time to get some personal belongings and the dogs. Whether your dad chooses to leave or not will be up to him, but you can only go back once to get some stuff. I appointed the Office of the Public Defender. They can get you in front of Judge, who was it? Epperson?
Epperson, yes.
You're gonna be in front of Judge Epperson. They can get you in front of him to amend these conditions of bond if there's some reason to do so. Mr. Hernandez, anything further on Mr. Hernandez's case?
No, Your Honor. Was it direct PTR on this case?
PTR plus a $500 bond. I can't give her direct PTR on a domestic related case.
$500 bond. No, Your Honor, that's all.
All right, thanks. It's best I'm gonna be able to do for you this afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. Miguel Gonzalez.
Your Honor, he refused. Can we reset his initial appearance?
Sure, we'll see him tomorrow. Kevin Holloway. Good afternoon, Mr. Holloway.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Holloway, you were arrested based on allegations of possessing methamphetamine and possessing drug paraphernalia.
Your Honor, I have a probable cause argument in this case.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor. So in this case, it looks like Mr. Holloway was actually the victim of a crime. It looks like his backpack was stolen by one Brandon O'Neill. And that after the police called Mr. Holloway to the scene to identify his belongings, he identified the backpack as his belonging. So we would argue that there is no probable cause because it looks like there was a lapse of time where Mr. Holloway did not have this backpack in his possession. And, you know, and all it says is that he reached back into the backpack, and I think the officers are just assuming that he, you know, touched whatever controlled substance was in there and actually was aware that that controlled substance was in there. So it's kind of a unique case because Mr. Holloway actually started out as a victim. So that's why we would argue that there is no probable cause because it's definitely conceivable that this was, you know, Mr. O'Neill is actually the one that had knowledge of the controlled substances and Mr. Holloway did not.
State.
Your Honor, state requests a 24-hour reset.
I'm going to deny the request for a 24-hour reset. He's going to qualify for pretrial release anyway. I don't see what additional information the deputies could provide. Says he stuck his hand in the pocket, that methamphetamine was later found after that was taken by another person. I'm not going to find probable cause. I agree with the defense on this one. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance on possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Mr. Holloway, the state may still choose to file charges on you. That doesn't mean that the case is dismissed, but you will be released on your own recognizance, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Thanks.
And Your Honor, I would just like to state for the record, he has no prior convictions.
I lost my job probably because of this shit.
No, yeah. All right, so you'll be released on your own recognizance on this. Thanks. Delio Ramos Gonzalez. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you were arrested based on allegations of possessing cocaine, possessing drug paraphernalia, Possession with intent to sell or deliver cocaine, possessing a controlled substance ×2. The allegations being similar allegations as the passenger in your vehicle. Ms. Hernandez?
Your Honor, we have a probable cause in this case as to the possession with intent to sell cocaine charge.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this case, after reading the charging affidavit, it does not appear that there's probable cause to believe that Mr. Ramos Gonzalez had an intent to sell. There's nothing as to the way that the cocaine was packaged. I believe it was only about 2 grams that were found, so it wasn't a high amount either. And I would point out that his co-defendant, Ms. Pinto Rivera, was not charged with possession with intent to sell, and it appears that they were, for the most part, were the same substances that were attributed to the both of them. So it just, there is enough probable cause to show that for simple possession, but not with the intent to sell.
Thank you. State?
One moment, Your Honor.
Of course.
Is he doing the pills for intent to sell, or is it he's charged?
Thank you.
That's fine, just so
Your Honor, the officers also found a lot of money, cash money. In addition to that, there was a lot of quantity, there was a large quantity of drugs altogether, and the state believes that those 2 factors show probable cause to sell.
Thank you for the argument. The court agrees with the defense. I find that probable cause is insufficient on the 1 count of possessing cocaine with intent to sell or deliver. Indeed, it did look like there was some money found. There's nothing in the charging affidavit that links that back to any suspicion or knowledge, anything within the knowledge base of the law enforcement officer that led them to believe that this was consistent with selling drugs. As to that count only, he's going to be ROR'd. I do find probable cause for possessing cocaine, possessing drug paraphernalia, possessing a controlled substance ×2. As to possessing cocaine, bond will be set in the amount of $2,000. As to possessing drug paraphernalia, bond will be set in the amount of $500. That's on case 21 CF 2935. On 21 CF 2936, I'm sorry. That was on 21 CF 2936. Possessing cocaine, possessing drug paraphernalia. As to 21 CF 2935, bond will be set in the amount of $1,000 per count. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interest. Thank you. Eduardo Robles Malero.
He bonded, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cristal San Pedro Thayer.
She refused, Your Honor. Can we reset this?
Okay. We'll see that person tomorrow. And how about Celia Center?
Can we reset this one as well? She refused.
We'll try again tomorrow. Margarita Soto. Good afternoon, Ms. Soto.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Soto, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery. Let's see if this was... It is domestic violence related. Read the charging affidavit. The charging affidavit establishes probable cause for the allegation. Court's going to set bond the amount of $250 plus pretrial release conditions. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender. Ms. Hernandez, do you wish to, will you ask her if her and Mr. Garcia cohabitate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thanks.
Your Honor, they do not cohabitate together.
Thank you. Court's going to, as a condition of pretrial release, impose no contact, and they are to maintain separate residences.
The bond was $1,500, right?
Negative. $250 plus pretrial release.
$250, thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Ms. Soto. All right, that was the last of the cases that I have a packet for. Mr. Hernandez, do you have any additional clients?
No, Your Honor, I believe that's everything.
Okay, we'll see, we'll try again with the refusals tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Judge.
Thanks.